The chilling narrative that drives the Peacock limited series All Her Fault begins not with dramatic explosions or high-stakes chases, but with a simple, gut-wrenching moment of parental dread. Imagine arriving at what you believe is your child's playdate location, only to find an empty house staring back at you, silent and foreboding. This is the visceral terror that propels the story of Marissa Irvine, a high-powered wealth manager whose life unravels in an instant when her 5-year-old son, Milo, vanishes from what should have been an innocent afternoon of play. As portrayed by the immensely talented Sarah Snook, Marissa's world crumbles under the weight of accusation, scrutiny, and an unrelenting wave of self-doubt. The series, adapted from Andrea Mara's gripping 2021 novel of the same name, masterfully weaves a tale of maternal instinct clashing against the harsh realities of modern parenthood, where a single overlooked detail can spiral into catastrophe. At the heart of this thriller lies a premise so deceptively ordinary that it strikes at the core of every parent's deepest fears. Marissa, juggling a demanding career with the ceaseless demands of family life, receives a text message inviting her son to a playdate at a nearby address. Rushed and trusting in the familiarity of school connections, she drops Milo off without a second thought, only to return later and discover the house is not the bustling family home she imagined, but a hollow shell. The phone number provided leads to an unlisted line, and panic sets in like a vice grip. "It's the wrong address," Snook explained in a candid interview, her voice capturing the raw edge of confusion turning to horror. The woman who answers the door, a polite but utterly unfamiliar Esther, offers no immediate answers, only deepening the mystery. As Marissa's calls to the supposed host, Jenny Kaminsky, go unanswered at first, the realization dawns. Her child is missing and the fault, real or perceived, lies squarely at her feet. This setup is not mere fiction born from imagination. It is rooted in a profoundly personal and terrifying incident from Mara's own life. Back in April 2015, the Dublin-based author found herself in a situation eerily parallel to her protagonist's nightmare. Tasked with picking up her then 5-year-old daughter from a playdate, Mara approached the address listed on her printed class roster. The doorbell rang unanswered, echoing into an unsettling quiet. Peering through the window, she saw no signs of life, no toys scattered about, no laughter spilling from open windows, just an eerie emptiness that sent chills down her spine. Her mind, that relentless engine of a parent's worry, began to spin wild scenarios. Had this family, whom she'd met only fleetingly at school coffee mornings, insinuated themselves into her daughter's life with ulterior motives? Was this the prelude to an elaborate kidnapping plot, months in the making? The logical part of Mara's brain dismissed these thoughts as paranoia, but the primal, protective instincts of a mother overrode all reason. Heart pounding, she knocked again, each unanswered ring amplifying her dread. It was only when a kind neighbor emerged, explaining that the family had relocated just 2 streets away, that relief washed over her. Minutes later, Mara had her daughter safely in hand, exchanging awkward laughs with the other mother about the mix-up. But the seed of fear had been planted, festering into the fertile ground of creativity. She never voiced her fleeting suspicions of abduction to the woman she'd barely known, preserving the fragile social fabric of schoolyard acquaintances. Yet, that moment of sheer panic became the cornerstone of All Her Fault, transforming a mundane error into a pulse-pounding exploration of vulnerability. In the series, this real-life echo is amplified into a multifaceted thriller that spans 8 taut episodes. Marissa's quest to find Milo thrusts her into a maelstrom of police interrogations, media frenzy, and personal reckonings. She confesses to detectives that she skipped the basic precaution of verifying the phone number against the class list, a lapse born from the exhaustion of balancing boardroom battles with bedtime stories. Her nanny's unexpected absence forced a hasty decision, one she now regrets with every fiber of her being. The show delves deep into the anatomy of her guilt, portraying a woman who second-guesses not just that fateful text, but her entire existence as a working mother. Flashbacks reveal snippets of her life with her husband and the invisible labor that underpins their household, highlighting the uneven distribution of domestic responsibilities that so many women navigate daily. Sarah Snook's performance is nothing short of revelatory, a tour de force that earns her comparisons to an emotional Olympics. As Marissa, she embodies the fraying edges of composure, the way a mother's love can fuel both superhuman strength and paralyzing doubt. Snook, who welcomed her own 2-year-old daughter with husband Dave Lawson, drew from her lived experiences to infuse authenticity into the role. "It was useful to kind of use my daughter," she reflected, imagining the unimaginable horror of such a loss in her own life. The actress, fresh off her Tony-winning triumph in Broadway's The Picture of Dorian Gray and her Emmy-nominated turn in Succession, where her pregnancy was seamlessly woven into the plot, brings a layered empathy to Marissa. She navigates the character's arc with precision, from the initial flush of embarrassment at the wrong house to the soul-crushing despair of empty playgrounds and fruitless searches. The ensemble cast elevates the tension further. Dakota Fanning shines as Jenny Kaminsky, the fellow working mom whose own bewilderment mirrors Marissa's, forging an unlikely alliance amid the chaos. Linda Cropper's Esther adds an enigmatic layer, her calm demeanor a stark contrast to the mounting hysteria. As the plot thickens, alliances form and fracture, with Marissa's professional life bleeding into the personal crisis. Accusations fly, not just of negligence but of prioritizing career over family, a critique that stings with societal undertones. The series unflinchingly examines the maternal guilt that plagues ambitious women, a theme that resonated deeply with creator Megan Gallagher. Within that material was this maternal guilt and this discrepancy in domestic labor tasks in heterosexual couples that, to me, is just this huge issue, Gallagher shared. She knows this terrain intimately, drawing from conversations with women her age who weep in parking lots after drop-offs, torn between fulfillment at work and the pull of home. Gallagher's vision for All Her Fault is unapologetic in its portrayal of women who dare to love their jobs as fiercely as their children. Marissa is no villain in a cautionary tale. She is a complex figure, passionate and flawed, whose sin of delegation exposes the cracks in a system that demands perfection from mothers while offering little support. The show critiques the judgment heaped upon working parents, particularly women, who outsource childcare not out of indifference,